All right, we live on the Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Um, Again, that Instagram, I still got to figure out the gram, man. That's the only thing about that. Let's go ahead and start, man. Introduce ourselves, and we wait for others to maybe pop in. They might pop in, they might not, but we just have a quick convo, man, about what's going on in real estate. All right, I just got the notification, so we live on the YouTube, man. So,
Cool.
Chris, so go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Let's go and get started.
All right. What's up, everybody? CJ, the realtor here in Houston, Texas. If you're looking to buy, sell, lease, invest, residential or commercial, holla at your boy. My number is 832-338-3182. Shoot me a text. Follow me on all platforms at CJ Sales TX.
And Barry, you right on time. We just got kicked off, man. We just got
Okay.
kicked off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you coming in loud and clear though too.
All right.
So
Intro?
yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself,
Okay.
and we're gonna go ahead and get started.
All right. This is Barry Bolston, real estate agent, Houston, Texas, and surrounding areas. You can get a hold of me at 832-786-1270. You can go to my website, homesbybarryb.com. I'm on IG. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. You can just you can Google Homes by Barry B. You'll be able to find me anywhere, everywhere. My emails bbolston@hotmail.com. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. bbolston@gmail.com.
Right.
I'm
So
losing.
Back to the AOL.
Huh?
We're back with AOL.com.
I know, right?
All right,
You
so
have mail.
my name is Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210, aka the Billionaire Loan Officer. So you can find me at my website. Go to my website, www.applywithb.com. Also, you could find me on all social media at Billionaire Loan Officer. So all one word, Billionaire Loan Officer. I made the 3 words one word. So you put all that in, I'll pop up. I'm in a promoting mood tonight, so I'm gonna promote everything, man. I want to get the show started with some promotion. Let's talk about what we got going on. I'm kind of excited about what we got going on, so I'm gonna just start out with some promotions, man. First of all, if you want to check my rates, I'm real transparent with rates, so I guarantee you I beat anybody rate that's out there. Go to my website, whatstodaysrates.com. You can check real time what's my rates right now, and you got a quote already from somebody else. Put my rates against the quote, and let's see if we could beat it, man. Save you some money. Also, you could go to our website as well, HoustonCondoSales.com. If you're looking for those fly condos, those townhouses, you want to keep track of all the latest buildings with all the amenities and all that stuff, go to our website, HoustonCondoSales.com. It's fire. I'm like on it every day, damn near. So, another one, if you like what we're doing, you want to cash app us. The cash app is the Power of Ownership. I'm going to talk about the Power of Ownership show a little bit later on as well, so once we get started. So don't remind me of that. Also, if you we got the Bully Palace going on as well. So if you're in the Frenchies and American Bulldogs, Bullies and stuff like that, we got the shampoo that's popping right now. We're selling out like crazy. Actually, we need to re-up before the fourth quarter, so that before that Black Friday. So I need to get stocked up for that. But also, let's talk about this. This is a good segue to what I want to talk about at the first part of the show. Chris and I, and you probably gonna see Barry in there sometime as well, and various realtor partners, and that's why we want to get more realtors involved. We got a show coming out called Open House. It's gonna be Chris and I. It's gonna be on Chris' website, on his YouTube, and on my YouTube as well. My YouTube is That Billionaire Loan Officer. So we're going to feature in the Houston area. Sometimes we might be in Dallas, sometimes we might be in Austin, but mainly Houston and surrounding areas. We want to feature you guys open houses. Well, we want to get you buyers, and we're going to come and interview you, and on the spot, we're going to take pictures of the house and all that stuff. We're going to film the house, so us and our camera crew. So called Open House is going to be on at Billionaire Loan Officer. on my YouTube channel and on Chris. Chris, what's your YouTube channel?
Yes, CJ Sales TX.
CJ Sales TX. So that's going to be the spot. You're going to be able to catch us in 2 different spots, for the show open house. So if you want to be on the show, drop me a DM, drop me a line. You can call me 832-775. You want to, and especially nowadays, you want to get off of that listing fast. Video, man. Video. It's almost damn near like you getting that high quality 4K video for free. And you're getting a damn near press release for you. So it's gonna help you. You help us share through your Facebook, your social media. You share this video, gonna promote you and your listing. So, and we're gonna come in there and shoot it. We're gonna shoot it high quality, edit it for free for you, and it's gonna be on our channels. So share it and let's get going, man. One other thing I wanted to promote before we get started, the Power of Ownership podcast. We revamping the show. We're gonna go high end. So I'm gonna do one last show under the old format, and then we got a new format coming in probably in November. So y'all stay tuned for that. So Power of Ownership podcast coming back. We're gonna do a little high produced show. I'm gonna be like Johnny Carson. You know what I mean? With Jay Leno or something. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna spice it up a little bit. So be on the lookout for that. So we do one more show in the last format, and then we're gonna spice it up a little bit. So be on the look for that. Let's go ahead and kick it off today, man. We're gonna have a brief conversation. We got about 45 minutes here. I want to talk about a little bit because I'm in a promotion mood, man. A lot of people have been coming to me this week. Because now's the time to invest. When everything's down, that's when you're looking to buy. And commercial real estate, a lot of people sleep on commercial real estate, especially right now because everybody's working from the house. But now's the time to get those deals. So I'm going to talk a little bit on the finance side about what it takes to get going. If you're looking for, the restaurant that you're a caterer, you've been a restaurant, you're thinking about moving to brick and mortar, you got a home help business, you want a space for it, you got a warehouse, you keep your rental cars, whatever you're trying to do, event center, whatever you're trying to do, now's the time to get those deals on the commercial thing. I'll let y'all relatives speak about it. You and Chris and Barry, I'll let y'all speak on the commercial side a little bit, and then I'll talk about what type of financing option you got. So,
well,
Chris,
I'll defer to you because that's I don't really get into the commercial right now, so I'll defer all that to you.
I got you.
Yeah, I haven't commercial.
Yeah, commercial. B said commercial is a good avenue, especially if you are a group of you are liquid enough to make to afford the down payment and everything to cover a commercial purchase. Because even when you think about multifamily, it's all about the number of doors. But once you cross that threshold of 4 into 5 doors, it's no longer considered residential real estate.
Right.
So anything over 4 doors is going to be commercial. So that's a different type of loan setup.
Right.
You can't utilize I'm going to live here. It's going to be my homestead, and I get the lower interest rate. It doesn't apply when you 5 and up, 5 doors and up. It changes.
Right. So how do they get involved? Like, what's the process if they do? You got, you got. This new lawyer that they already got their house, and they want to get a new office building. They want to lease it out. They want to, how do they get involved? What's the process?
Yeah, and it's just going to depend on what you're trying to do because commercial is a different animal. Mm-hmm. So
what's the difference? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah. So it depends on what you're trying to purchase.
Right. So, let's say an office building.
So office building. And it's going to depend on, history because banks want to know, or the lenders want to know, you know what you're doing, or you got somebody you're working with that knows what they're doing. Because if you're just trying to go out there green, it's going to be a lot harder to secure that financing.
Right. Well, let's say, for example, I got a lawyer You know, because we got a client right now that's a lawyer. No, his wife's a lawyer and he's a engineer.
Mhm.
And let's say his wife does have his own practice, but let's say she wanted to go ahead and get her own building and rent that thing out. So she rent out the office space. She want to have her office parked there. How would she get going to do that transaction? What does she need to do?
She would have to have a business structure too, where like she's not using her personal finances to purchase the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
So establishing business credit, getting that going, making sure you're registered like with the state, because sometimes like this even happened to me. I had my LLC registered, but I didn't know what was it? It was like a $50 tax charge that was left off when I was doing all my payments, and then I was no longer registered. So now I had to re-register, pay fees or whatever. But like if you don't stay on top of all that stuff, that might play a part.
Right. Well, just from a lending end, there's a couple of ways that you could do it. First of all, with commercial, 25% is like the entry point.
Mm-hmm.
Just get that in mind. 25%. So if you're looking at a $400,000 building or facility or whatever, look at $100,000 down. First of all, so now from there, from the down payment, it's a lot more flexible. So some lenders require you to have a actual P&L and actually be in business. Some really don't care. It's like more hard money. They look at the deal itself. So if if it's you're putting 25, 35% down, and you have good credit, and you're gonna do a personal guarantee. Some don't care about the business if you're in a fledgling business. But if you're in a well-established business that has a P&L, you have good credit with the business credit and stuff like that, then you're able to possibly put it in the actual business name. So some lenders go away. You don't have it on your personal debt. So there's ways you can go either way. You go to like for example, right now I have a church that's going that they just formed a church, so it has no history. The church has been in existence, but they've been congregating privately, so but they just did all the business work. So they have no history on paper. But one of the people that's on the board is going to personally guarantee it. And he's still putting the 25% down. So there's lenders that'll do that as well. So there's all kind of ways, like I said, if you got money, the down payment is going to be the stickler.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the down payment, you got to have the money. There's really no getting into commercial buildings with 5-10% down.
Right.
It just ain't gonna happen like that on the commercial side. So you looking at 25% down, at least some 35% will be even better. So to get in. But the good thing about commercial is the tax benefits as well. You can file that, the interest off on your taxes and stuff like that. And it's just it's good as far. I don't know if you heard of the 1031 thing.
Oh yeah, the 1031 exchange.
1031 exchange, where if you decide to move around, stuff, sell a building, and you could purchase, gobble up some other residential real estate in this place. So it's good to have on your books, owning instead of renting. You got what I'm saying? If you decide to get into a commercial space. So also, people got to think as well. This is what I was telling a couple of my clients as well. Let's say you do own like a massage parlor, or you got a restaurant, or you got a whatever, where you're a single unit, you could usually go rent in the strip mall. Why not look at if you got good credit, or if your business got good credit, why not looking into buying a strip mall? And then lease that other thing out. That way, everything that you do is in the black.
Exactly. Yep.
So you got to what's that thing that's going by? You got to think big. You think small.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you think big. So think about it. If you get a 5-unit, 7-unit strip mall, and you lease one out for yourself, you got 6 tenants. That's gonna pay your note, and everything you do out your business, you're already in the black for. Think about it. And let's say you get a $2 million. Don't let the $2 million fool you. Let's say you you cranking right now already out your food truck or whatever. You already got, a couple of $100,000 in the bank, a few $100,000. Think about it. 2 million, 25% is what? A 2 million, 500,000, right?
2 million 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 500. Yeah.
500,000. So you stack up 500,000, you finance that 1.5 million, and then you put in 6 tenants. Whatever you do in the restaurant is gravy.
Right. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So I would advise, like, man, if you, before you can start off with renting, but stack your money and maybe buy the whole strip mall. Just don't look at just buying an independent building. Do something that's gonna layer your risk down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my advice on that. Anything else?
I see one thing that's popping up too is a lot of these empty lots they use it for food truck parks.
Right.
So imagine owning that lot and renting out space or renting out events and things like that.
Well, what's hot right now, and a lot of people it hadn't got to Texas too much, is buying that land and making it a mobile home park.
Mm.
Because you get land cheap, and then all you got to do is come in and put in the plumbing and the water.
Mm-hmm.
The plumbing and the electricity or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got a mobile home park, and you can charge them what they charge, a couple $100 every month, and you can sit a couple hundred people on there. All you got to do is have one manager in there, and the land gonna be dirt cheap because you ain't got nothing built on it. So
shoot, depending on where it is.
I mean, but right now you don't want to do that in the city. You want to do that in the outskirts.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got land out there. Texas is big. Especially, man.
Houston big.
Yeah, Houston big, but right now you get Sealy and all the outskirts where they building up. You get one of the mobile, you get some land out there.
Yeah.
You get 300-400, trailers parked in there. You could eat, for relatively cheap. If you look at the big picture of it, it's not, buying the land and by the way, we got land loans too. So if land loans, be prepared 40-50% down, but we do have land loans that you can finance. So get you the land and then, put your mobile home park on that. There's all kind of ways to skin a cat.
Yep.
All kind of, especially right now, is the time to be entrepreneurial because we in a recession, but we ain't hit the worst of the recession yet. You see what I'm saying? So we probably gonna be in that probably till 2024. So look at next year gonna be rougher than this year.
Mm-hmm.
So now's the time to get your stuff, not to go into a ball, but go ahead and and make your investments. That way, next year you come out, boom, you like a rubber band. You shot ahead as opposed to playing from behind. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So now's the time to invest, man. No better investment than real estate. No better investment than real estate. That's kind of the next. I want to carry that over, and Barry, you can chime in on this because we want to talk a little bit more about investment properties and stuff like that because I know what happened is a lot of people got scared. First-time home buyers scared off. So what's burning up the phones right now, at least on my end, is investors.
Mm-hmm.
So they still hot in the market. They still looking for.
Oh, they gonna be hot.
Yeah, they still hot in the market. They still burning up everything, and like I said, even with first time investors, what's the best pragmatic approach to getting the game? For first time investors, and then even seasoned investors, how can they get deals? So I'm gonna ask you 2-part question: first time investors, how you get in the game, and then seasoned investors, what's the best way to get deals?
I get I'm on a lot of buyers lists for wholesalers and real estate companies, and I get a lot of. I mean, every day I probably get at least 5 or 6 emails about off market deals coming through. So get it on a list. I mean, you'll get land, you'll get commercial homes. I mean, residential. So get on a list and get those. Now they have, you have to be able to analyze deals and all that, but but just getting on that list to find to get the homes that are available for sale.
Right.
And you definitely going to have to analyze it. And one of the things that I was always told is you got to get good people around you.
Right.
Whether it's attorney, somebody in construction, because you need to be able to analyze that deal to see, if it's worth you getting.
Right. That's another thing. We're gonna have to do a show strictly on formula. We're gonna save that for when the shows come out, man. The open house and my reality show and the Power of Ownership podcast. So you got to stay tuned. I give you a formula, a surefire formula how to make this profit, man. How to analyze these deals. If you ain't got a formula, you're gonna lose. Chris, I'm gonna ask you the same question. What's the two-part question? How does a first-time investor get into the game? And then secondly, a season, what's the best way to get the deals?
Man, in the investor world, it's all about who you know. So I would say it's 1 million investor networking events going on in Houston every day of the week. So like if you're just starting to get into it, curious, like I would get to as many of those as you can, meet people, find a mentor, find somebody like in that mentor space that may even be willing to work with you on your first deal.
Right.
Because you don't know what you don't know. So you know, having somebody with some experience is going to be crucial.
Right. So what about the second part of the question? How do you so the deals? Basically, you saying the deals is all about who you know.
Yeah, and just like Barry said, so wholesalers are the ones that are finding these off-market deals where sellers want to sell, and you can more than likely get it for less than market value. But if you're not in relationship with these wholesalers, like you won't know these deals exist. You're going to be looking at everything like for sale at market value, and the best bang for your buck is finding something less than that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, there are investor groups. There are a few they have like once a month, or some of them have every couple of weeks. They have like a little conference where they might have like a lender come up, or they have title companies, or they have wholesalers, or they have people that's been investing for a while, and so they're giving you information about it. So yeah, you're gonna do your research and find these. There are I know of about 3 or 4 that's out there that you can get this information from, and you got to get, like I say, you got to get in there and get the information. Like I say, who you know, you get in there, and you'll have people that have been doing investing deals for 20, 30 years, and soak up that knowledge from them.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before I get into the financial element of it. Is there such thing as going off the computer and finding a good deal? Or do you have to really get in there and roll your sleeves up?
Depends on your level of expertise.
Right.
I mean, if you've been doing it, if this is your first deal, I would suggest you get somebody that knows what they're doing.
Right.
Now I was always told you're gonna lose. There's gonna be some times when you lose money, and you're gonna learn. So you lose money and you learn, but you want to try to learn under somebody. Don't try to do it yourself. I mean, if you've been doing it 10 years, 15 years, you can probably go on hard and find those deals, or you can, like I say, you get on a buyer's list where they're emailing you 10, 20 deals a day, and you can go in and you can analyze yourself. And so it depends on your expertise.
Right. Chris, I'm asking the same question. You gotta roll your sleeves up, or you can just eyeball that thing.
I'll say, man, you got to get in there and put eyes on it, because you want to, not only when you're buying a property like this, buying it online, you want to check the systems, you want to check the electrical, you want to make sure the AC is working, like furnace, all that stuff. So you can't do that from a video or looking at it online. So, and there are ways to determine whether or not, if you see certain things, this might be signs of foundation issues or things like that. That'll be tough to determine trying to look at some online. So I would always get eyes on it, either by you or somebody on your team.
Yeah, you definitely need to get your eyes on it. It's a guy that I know. He's an agent with. I used to be with Keller Williams. He's with another real estate company now, and he does real estate and he also invests. And he's been doing it for 15, 20 years. And so he can go to a property. He said he can look and see this is gonna cost me $5,000. This kitchen is gonna cost me $7,000. Up, that's foundation. But he's been doing it forever, so he can do that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right.
He know, he has construction people, so he knows I can get this floor done for $2,000. And so he says when he's walking through a house, all that is he's calculating all that before he comes up with his offer price.
Right. Just switching it slightly on my expertise on the financial side, on the finance side. First of all, just to tell you what you need, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. The minimal, let's talk about traditional lending. The minimal that you could get into is 15% on the traditional side for an investment property. So 15%. However, you're going to have mortgage insurance. But this is going to be full doc. They're going to want, if you're an individual, they're going to want to see W-2s and pay stubs. If you're a company, they're going to want to see tax returns and P&L. So this is full doc. So you get the minimum you get into it is 15%. However, there's always a better way to skin a cat. Got Corey coming in. What's going on? Let me finish my thought. Then we'll have you introduce yourself and all that.
All right.
So traditional, it's gonna be full doc. So you got all of the stuff that comes with it. You got all of the hoops that you got to jump through and all the conditions that you're gonna have to actually see once you go traditional. However, the good thing, the light about the traditional way is you get the better interest rates. Because think about it, that particular bank is you're checking more boxes, you're alleviating more risk, so therefore you'll get a better rate. But a lot of business owners, especially if you're self-employed, a lot of business owners don't really they take their max deductions. So they're not gonna, leave all that money out there. So they're gonna file off whatever they can file off. So that's the conundrum. With that being said, you file out, you take a max deduction, that don't leave that much meat on the bone. So a lot of times they're non-lendable in most if you do a traditional way. It's what's called a DSCR, where it's a no income doc, where we don't have to see any income docs, as long as you have 20% down. And the caveat to that is that the actual rental income, the potential rental income has to be equal or greater than the actual note, PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance. So, however, the downside of this is that since I do one today, put it in at 8, was out by 12, approved, boom, no income. We don't see any of that. They just waiting on the appraisal. It's not the best interest rate. Think about it. So the less that they qualifying you for, the less that they need to see is more risky on their part. So they're going to want, there's going to be a greater interest rate in order to balance out that risk.
Was that on that one, is that for somebody that's going to flip and hold or flip and sell?
Well, this would happen to be, he was pulling cash out of free and clear. But, but you could do either way. That's the next thing I want to talk about. You could kind of go either way with it. You could do flip. Most of them, have a 6-month prepayment penalty. Most lenders, but you always could buy yourself out of that. Some of them have up to 5 years. Some have 10 years. It depends on the lender. That's why the good thing about a broker is I can shop the deal for you. It depends. So if you flip, you want the least prepayment penalty as possible. But if you want to buy and hold, you can go ahead and take that better rate and go ahead and hold it for that 6 months, year, whatever the prepayment penalty is. So there's lenders that'll do both. Also, there's lenders. Let me talk about this, and I'll go ahead and turn it over to Corey right quick. There's lenders that'll do hard money deals as well. So if you need to actually buy the property and have the finance piece, have the rehab piece in there, you could do that as well. So you could do it on your personal, and you could do it for investments as well. And you can do it under LLC. So there's hard money lenders that'll do that as well. So give you the actual if you had the down payment. Let's just go a scenario. Let's say you buy a distressed property for $100,000. Let's say you're gonna dump 50 in it, and then once it's done, it's gonna be worth 300. So what they're gonna do is you're gonna look at 30% down, 35%. Let's take 30 for quick math. That's gonna be 30% of 150. That's gonna be 45,000. So bam, you put that 45,000. You finance it 105. Boom, they're gonna buy the property and you get 45,000. Excuse me, 50,000 for actual the rehab piece. Finish that up, boom, and then they're gonna appraise it on the potential value.
ARV.
So, and you can do that on the LLC too. So there's all kind of ways. Again, just holler at me. There's all kind of ways to skin a cat if you want to hop into this thing. Corey, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. We got a few more minutes, man. We talking investments and commercial today, man. So I can't hear you yet. You muted.
There you go.
You might say your mic isn't connected.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Lord have mercy. I'll eventually get this thing. We do it enough, you know what I'm saying? I get it. Corey Smith, you know what I'm saying, your mortgage guy. Just, you know what I'm saying, here to talk real estate. Here to be your mortgage lender. Answer any questions, be a resource for you.
Right. No doubt. You want to chime in on anything? Like I said, the question was on the floor. We talking about if it's the first time investor, what's the best way to get into it? And then if you're a seasoned investor, what's the best way to get deals?
So in my opinion, you're saying everybody's a little bit different. There's no one size fits all when it comes to a strategy of actually investing.
Right.
My biggest thing is that, you know what I'm saying, you got to pay for somewhere to stay. It's the greatest part or the greatest thing in order to kind of learn while, you know what I'm saying, you're actually inside your own property. So my major thing would be to actually buy your primary residence as a multifamily. It's a great way to tip your toe in the water and figure out is property management for you or not. Because if you qualify for that property, in most cases, you're qualifying for a note that you can actually float. And even if you run into tenant problems, whatever the case may be, you don't risk the chance of a whole bunch of money being on the line. In an investment property, you're looking at 15, 20% down. But if you purchase it as a primary residence and you're looking at FHA, you could do 3.5%. So there's less money that you have out of your pocket on the line, but yet you're into the investing world because now you have an income generating property. Later on down the line, once you actually increase the value of that property, you could do a cash out refi, then go buy that dream home that you want. Or do a cash out on the equity, go buy another investment property. I mean, you have options at that point. But if it's too scary to go out and get a single family home by itself, my biggest thing is, you know what I'm saying, from a beginner, just go get a multifamily.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a way to get in there as far as the first time home buyer. It's like, almost like a investment or training wheels or investment helper at that point. You got the kit, with it, like hamburger helper. You got, you got the 1 to 4 you could buy and just rent out one side or rent out the other 2 sides or whatever you got. And and that'll help pretty much pay for your note and you live rent free. And at the same time, you can be stacking up bread. The only thing is you next to them though, you know what I'm saying? So me personally, I still would get that a management company, pretend like I'm one of the tenants as well. I would.
they'll be knocking on your door every other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna still get a management company, pay that $100 a month or whatever I gotta pay, so I can pretend like I ain't the owner.
You be over there complaining with them.
Man, mine not working either.
Man, I heard he was I heard he was from Nevada.
I ain't seen him.
But what would be your advice? All right, somebody that's seasoned, and how would you get the best deals if you're already seasoned? You 2-3 in, you 4 in. you know, you already in it. What's your advice to get the best deals?
Everybody's appetite is a little bit different than the other. You know what I'm saying? So we have some what we call lazy investors, and some investors that want to be active and go out there and get it. If you ask me the question of saying what's the best way to get it, it's always going to be, and it's never going to be a better way to find a deal than to go straight to the seller. Period. You go straight to the homeowner. You're dealing directly with the homeowner. There's no middle people. There's nobody there to make it complicated, whatever the case may be. Now, you have to understand that, you know what I'm saying, it takes a little bit of time in order to kind of fight and get these deals, because just the way you find these deals, there's a lot of other investors that want these deals as well. So there's some investors that don't even want to do that. Like, hey, look, they pay the wholesalers. The wholesalers go out, they do all the work to try to find the sellers and all this other stuff. Hey, look, just bring me a house where the numbers work and I'll buy it. So, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the short answer to your question is, you know what I'm saying, it's always going to be to go directly to the seller. The long answer is that, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be whatever it takes for you to get a deal, period.
So it's the pound of payment approach. So I think that's what the disconnect is with, especially in our community, that they think this is it does make passive income, but however, in order to get those great deals, it's not a passive thing. You actually have to do something and search to get those deals. So, but once you do get that in place, it does make passive income. So I think we just going to be at our desk, you know, as a lawyer or as a doctor or as a whatever profession that you're in, and just scroll through stuff and then point, you know, okay, this is the property for me. Let me call Chris and go ahead and take this out, and this is the one, and I'm gonna be financially free. And that's why 9 times out of 10 it never work out, because you know this is not a passive thing. If you want to hop into this investment game, you really gotta take it almost like a part-time job, you know, and spend 10, 15, 20 hours a week pounding the pavement, looking for deals, talking to sellers like Corey said, until you actually get those deals where you got 10 houses, 10 doors, 5 doors, whatever, where you could have enough where you could cover your bills, and now you're financially free. But until that, I think the whole perception is off. And that's why I want to have this talk. Like we think passive, we think, all right, I can do this and this is gonna happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, that deal is gonna pop up bloop, bloop, out of the sky, and all right, okay, here it is. I could go on R and pick out, okay, this looked like a good one.
Yep.
Not gonna happen.
You know, the other thing is, you know what I'm saying, is that, you know, kind of real estate investing takes on kind of a negative perception just because, you know what I'm saying, you have a whole bunch of other people out there that's scared to take it on themselves. Or they may have heard, because everybody heard a bad story about, you know, what the tenants have done to a property or whatever the case may be. Right. The biggest thing people need to understand is there's just as many times as you heard a bad story, you can hear some good stories where people are making a lot of money investing in real estate. But the biggest thing is that they get the education to learn how to manage these properties right, so that they don't necessarily deal with those issues. So this ain't nothing to be scared of. This is definitely something that you need to jump into, but understand your strengths and weaknesses, and then get somebody else to fulfill that void when it comes to the weaknesses.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you about this. Let's open this new. Since Corey mentioned the multifamily, why is it so hard to find a multi? We know the answer to this, but let's just go ahead and put it out there. And what's the best strategy on getting multifamilies? You know, because that's like the most sought after thing. Anybody got a little bit of knowledge on it? Anybody know about the FHA program? Anybody know even USD got VA got the same program. So everybody traditional got that program where you could live in one side as the homestead and then rent out the rest. Mm-hmm. Why aren't more people doing that? What's the deal with multifamily? What's the best strategy to get a multifamily? And we'll leave that to let's talk to the realtors first on that.
I think one of those is what you talked about with knowing your neighbor.
Right.
You know, how many people want to go from apartment to living right next to somebody in a home?
No. What I'm asking is how to, especially in Houston, we see as soon as the multifamilies come available, they gone. Mm-hmm. They, the investors swoop them up.
Yeah.
How can they get the mix to get one? How can you get one? what's the best strategy on getting one of the things, and then where to look, how to get it, how can they get it? If they want to get in that game, what's the best strategy?
Shoot, buy some land.
You say build.
Find a lot that's in one of those areas that allows it, because like you're saying, as soon as even before they finish building, they're sold, and that's all over.
Right.
So you're talking when you say multifamily, you're talking about apartments?
No, duplex,
duplex, or
right. So
triplex.
Yeah, the town.
I'm looking for a triplex for somebody right now. Well, he wanted a fourplex, but I found a triplex for him, and it's some out there. The price is high though.
They are.
Right.
The price is high.
Right, because it's the supply and demand, so they know that's the most sought after thing. So, so they're gonna inflate it a little bit, because everybody want to get in. So that's the. I'm on the inside. I can't really offer too much advice on how to get it, how to obtain it. So that's why I'm opening the thing. How can they obtain that? You say the best besides building. I know building. That's what's gonna be my answer. The build, just to make your own.
Because that's the challenge, is finding one price where you actually make some money if you're turning them into rentals. Right. Because right now, the way they're priced, they're eating into profit margin. So, like, it's almost not worth it at this point if that's what you're looking to do. So that's the challenge, is making sure the numbers work first of all, and then see if something meets that's out here on the market right now. Because, like Barry said, them prices up.
Yeah, a few years ago, I had a friend that that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to buy a duplex. He was going to live on one side and rent out the other side. But everything that we were looking for was $250 and up for one side. One side. $250. I'm like, he was like, and then the ones that were like $250 for both were like in areas you didn't want to be in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I'll see a duplex and I'm like, $250. Okay, let's. And I talked to the agent. Oh yeah, that's one side.
Right.
Huh?
Right. Well, that's a good segue to what I was gonna suggest.
That's crazy.
My thing is, coming from the finance side, either use them hard money lenders or rehab loans to actually make you a multifamily. Take a distressed property if you got a nice floor plan, and just make it a duplex. Make it 3 doors. So you could do that as well with a hard money lender, or even some traditional rehabs. You can. The thing about like a 401k, a 2 or 3K, you could strip it down to studs, but you can't just maul it but you could as long as the floor plan is there, you can manipulate the floor plan. You could change, you could tear down walls and stuff like that, but you can't just tear it down and start over. You got what I'm saying? So so I would say either do what CJ is talking about, build from scratch. I think that would take a little bit longer, or take a distressed property that's already got a nice floor plan, a big flat, and make it, instead of a big 3,000 square foot flat, make it 1,500 square foot, duplex, 15 on each side.
Yeah.
Or as they say, go
distress multifamily.
Right.
Or as they say,
multifamily.
Go driving for dollars. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of start sending out market and find people that's interested in selling, that doesn't necessarily have their property on the market.
Right.
Or some of these like little places that's like on the outskirts of Houston. A friend of mine found one it's like 5 little apartments. But he, like I said, he was driving for dollars, and they have software where you put an address in, and it'll give you the seller, and it'll give you their information, their phone number, and everything, and you can call them and and see if they want to sell and how much they'll take for it.
Right. So
that's cool.
Actually putting this Well, the theme is actually putting in the work and touching people and talking to people. You know, it's gonna be hard to just do this something to pop up off the computer.
Yeah.
So you really, like I said, you really got to roll your sleeves up and do that. Corey, did we get to your? What will be your? How can you? What's your best way to obtain one of the multi-family? We talked about building. We talked about renovating. You know, you talked about a little bit. Pound of paper talking to the seller, driver.
Yep. I think y'all pretty much pegged it on the best way to actually get multifamily. I mean, there's lots of ways that you can actually get it out there. Right. The other thing is that specifically what you want to cater towards, then make sure everybody around you knows about it. Because everybody always knows somebody or heard somebody that's doing this, that, and the third. Yep. So you want to be top of mind if they hear, hey man, you know what I'm saying, I really want to be done with this fourplex or whatever, and somebody hears it, you want that person to be like, well, I just talked to a guy the other day, or I just talked to a guy the other day that's looking for that. Right. And then you know what I'm saying, they can actually get in contact with you and get you a deal that way. But I think you know what I'm saying, there's lots of ways to do it, but every situation is going to be different.
Right, no doubt. But just wrapping it up on investors, you know, we talked a little bit as well earlier about the commercial aspect and stuff, because a lot of people right now a good chance to get some of them deals on. If you're an entrepreneur, you know, you want to get a warehouse for your business, you want to expand, you want to get a strip mall, you know. So we talked about that a little bit as well. As far as the last thing about investors, what do you think the best strategy? Of course, you got to have the money, you know. But what's some of the best strategies you would say for actually getting that money up? You know, saving that money, acquiring that money for the down payment. I think that's the biggest issue with people coming in. They want to get investment property, but it's, you know, they got to stack that. They got to stack that the down payment, 15-20%. You know, so you got any strategies on what's the best way to attain that? If you professional, if you're an entrepreneur,
if you really at the bottom and don't have the money, wholesaling, is a good way to start making money, because that takes more of your time more than it does your money.
Right.
So like you really got to grind. Wholesaling is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Right. But
if you don't know what wholesaling, you know, if you find a seller that wants to sell and say they'll sell it for 50, and you go and find somebody to buy it for 60, then you can make 10,000, and you really didn't, you know, you haven't done too much other than, you know, pound the pavement. So that's what that wholesaling.
There's a lot of paperwork involved with that too.
And you're gonna have to get with title companies that are investor friendly, wholesale friendly. Right. You just can't go anywhere.
There's no such thing as free money. So
no, that's work. Wholesaling is work, bro.
Yeah.
That's work. But the good thing about wholesaling is that you can come from nothing, and with a little bit of sweat equity, you can have a whole lot of stuff.
Yep.
You know, so if you ain't got no money, you still got time.
Yep.
You know, but you got to get cold at something, man. It's like, man, you know, why not learn the game on that? And then that way you got nice chunky, you know, you got a deal or two. You got some money to get into the actual investment game, some nice chunks of money, and then you can have that passive income. So yeah, I agree 100% with what CJ is talking about, man. If you ain't got no money, I know if you already, like, you know, if you are an entry level job, you're making $40,000-$50,000 a year, it's gonna be hard to save that extra $100 to get that down payment up, and stuff gonna pop up. So you need to get into something that's gonna chunk you out, you know, legally. You know, don't get into no illegal. We don't condone any illegal activity. So legally,
we want to keep you out of jail.
Yeah, we want to keep you out here free. You know, floor's open. Barry, Corey, y'all got anything, man? That's the wholesale? Thing, that's
wholesaling is because you need that money. I mean,
you know what I'm saying, my biggest thing would be, you know what I'm saying, if you don't have any money, don't let that be the one thing that actually stops you. You could always use the good old barter system where, you know what I'm saying, there's people out there that does have the money. If you get yourself educated and understand exactly what you're doing, or at least have a general idea of what you should be doing, you can easily partner with somebody that's going to put up the money, but you're going to be the person to actually sit and babysit the property when it's going under rehab. You're going to sit there and babysit the contractor. You're going to sit there and make sure materials and stuff, the project stays on budget. You're going to do a lot of the grunt work because you don't have money, you got to spend the time. But because you spend the time, the person that's giving the money can be hands off. And y'all can figure out whatever the split's going to be, 70-30, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But the experience of going through that project is going to be priceless.
Yeah.
So I don't care, you know what I'm saying, if that investor gives you 20%, whatever the case may be, you're there to get the experience, make some money, so that later on down the line, you can do your own project.
You can do your own.
Get 100% of the profit. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to let I don't have money be the thing that stops you. There's ways to get around that and still get the job done.
Right, I want to say this real quick because we run out of time. Yeah, I would say as well, that's a good way to apprentice under somebody, or we talked about that management, get into residential and commercial management, property management, and then, you get that up, because that could be a full-time side hustle. You collecting your rent, and you collect the people rent, and you take care of the service calls and stuff like that. You can set that up, and that's gonna be something that you can still do with a job. So and you get enough contracts under you got your some income that you can strictly invest in. I'm all about the practice because I never was born with a silver spoon. I'm always about doing something that's really gonna make you working extra hours, working extra, getting another business that's gonna bring you, some liquid that you can dump into an asset.
Yeah,
I'm always about that. You know what I mean? So do something to that effect. Get another gig. Do something that's gonna put you some money and set that money and use the discipline to set that money aside and let it stack it so you can invest in it. So I know Chris got to roll out of his right at 8:30. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do our outros, man, and then we're gonna get up with y'all next Tuesday.
Okay.
So CJ.
All right, everybody. It's CJ, the realtor here in Houston, Texas. If you're looking to sell, buy, invest, lease, residential or commercial, hit me up, 832-338-3182. And you can follow me on all social media platforms, CJ Sales Texas, CJSELLSTX.
Man, you're not plugging that website, man. That website you got hard, man. You're not plugging it?
Man, I was doing some more tweaking to it, but it's live too. Everybody check the website out, man. GreenwoodRealtyTX.com.
Yeah, the Greenwood Realty TX fire, man. They got me. I might have to tweak mine a little bit, man. You're a little bit more crispy than mine. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have to tweak mine a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not done tweaking, but yeah, check it out, y'all.
So, Barry, you want...
All right. Barry Bolston, real estate agent here, Houston. Buy, sell, invest, land, residential. You can go to homesbybarryb.com. My number is 832-786-1270. If you just Google Homes by Barry B, I'm on IG, Facebook. What's the other one? Twitter. I'm on all of them. TikTok. So if you have any questions, you can go to my website, get on the contact form. You can call me. You can email me, bbolston@gmail.com.
All right, Court.
All right. Corey Smith, your money man. And if you want to get in contact with me, my number is 832-297-7659. Or feel free to send me an email, smithmortgageteam@gmail.com. I'm not quite like these fellas. Yeah, I'm still working on social media. So we're going to get there to where we on all platforms. We're going to get there. We're work in progress. But but for anything, for all your mortgage needs, just give me a shot.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, like I said, don't forget my website is www.applywoodb.com. If you're ready to get into the investor game, you're ready to get in the commercial game, or you're a first-time home buyer, you need somewhere to live, go to www.applywoodb.com. Don't forget that the Power of Ownership podcast is going to be revamped. So we got one more show, and then we're going to revamp the whole thing. At Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. At Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. So you can go ahead, follow me, add me, DM me, so on and so forth. Chris and I website, HoustonCondoSales.com is one of the is one of the probably up there. I think it's RivalsCondo.com. It rivals a lot of sites, bro. It's
sure.
very user friendly. It's nice. I'm on it damn near every day. HoustonCondoSales.com. It's for Houstonians by Houstonians. If you like the amenities and all that stuff, all the latest deals is on there. Automatically updates. Go ahead and get on our mailing list, man. You really in the market for a condo, one of the badass townhouses. That's the slot. What's today's rates.com? Go ahead, check my rates. I challenge you. I'll beat anybody rates. You know, I won't be undersold. You know what I'm saying? What's today's rates.com? You can check my rates live. Also, you know, don't forget I'm a French bulldog lover, man. www.bullypalace.com. We got the shampoo going. Also, be on the lookout. Go to my website, like, subscribe. All my videos. Go to YouTube at Billionaire Loan Officer. Chris and I got a show called Open House coming out real soon. It's going to be on both Chris and I channels at Billionaire Loan Officer, and it's CJ Sales Texas. CJ Sales TX is the YouTube. So go ahead, realtors, go ahead, get up on the ground floor now. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and we'll be getting at you here soon. So that's about it, man. We're talking real estate. This is the weekly webinar. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30, man. Like and share, man. Like and share, please. We're trying to get our audience up. Like, share, spread it. You know, if you like what we're talking about, you want to get on the panel, just DM us, man. We got plenty of room on the panel. I think on StreamYard, we can put 10 on this panel. So, you know, we got plenty of room. Let's go ahead and talk, man. Because that's talking about it and spreading the knowledge. That's the only way people feel comfortable about taking action. They totally feel comfortable. We answered all the questions. We gave them knowledge. So now the next thing is action. So we here to be your think tank and to be your arms and legs to getting into this, basically. You know, so we're here. So with that being said, we're gonna say peace, man. See y'all next week.
All right. Peace.
All right.